What are those soft skills that leaders should strive to have? A couple of these skills are not even taught in schools. Neither are they taught as part of our degrees. But as we ascend the ladder of leadership, we need to pay attention to some of these skills. And one of these skills that we'll talk about today is communication etiquette, or I would say telephone etiquette. Telephone etiquette. You find out that we have to use the telephone every now and then. It's part of our work tool. Any serious system now would know that the telephone is a very important work tool that we use as team members, as workers, as leaders, as managers, um, all in within our organizations. So it's important that we understand that the telephone as a tool needs to be used properly. We need to learn how to be respectful on the telephone, because most times now we don't even have physical engagements again. A whole lot of our meetings are remote, so we use lots of tools, lot of communication on telephone. Giving instructions, chats, what may. So it's important that we learn some etiquettes while we use the telephone as leaders. So telephone etiquette refers to professional and courteous manner. Uh, you know, it says courteous manner, so we must have courtesy on the phone. We must have courtesy. It's not debatable. A leader must be courteous. And it's a courteous manner in which a person communicates, over the phone. So if you must have a telephone, then if you must use a telephone as a leader, you must have courtesy on the phone. You should have good telephone etiquette. That's very important. Leaders who practice good telephone etiquette create positive impressions and maintain strong relationships, and they maintain very strong relationship with their team. People call in at times, I hear people, maybe you're in the meeting or you're in the office and then someone calls in and then you hear someone picks his call and he says, yes. That's not proper. I mean, culture demands that you exhibit some etiquettes when you use or when you pick the phone as a leader. It helps you, it helps your team, it helps a whole lot. Those are part of the soft skills that leaders must strive to have. Why is it important to have good telephone etiquette? Good telephone etiquette creates a professional image of yourself. People employ you. We've had people that have been employed solely by conversations on telephone. So if you do not have good etiquette, the tendency is that you even lose opportunities. So as leaders, it's also important that you have very good telephone etiquette. It gets your team members to be adhered to you. You are able to win their respect when you respect them, especially while you speak on telephone. So speaking politely and professionally reflects positively on the leader and the organization. So you must speak professionally and positively. You know, um, you owe whoever is calling some pleasantries. Hello, good morning. My name is Iyola. How can I help today? That's polite. But when people call in and you sound like you are the Lord and Master, that's even when you don't know who is calling. So even when you know who is calling, be very courteous. Hi, Jake. How are you doing? How can I help today? That's courtesy. The guy on the other hand is happy and willing to tell you a problem if he or she has one. But if you do not exhibit good telephone etiquette, the tendency is that your team will not accelerate. Uh, it also helps you. Good telephone etiquette helps you to show respect to others. Answering from promptly and listening attentively demonstrates consideration for the colleague. And then it also demonstrates a whole lot of respect and consideration, even for your customers and stakeholders. So you must answer your phone promptly. I recall there used to be a discussion then that your phone should not ring more than twice before you pick it up. Once your phone rings, I mean, if you are able to pick it, then pick it up. Don't allow your phone to ring on and on. At times it shows, if you are not busy, if you are able to pick your call, then pick it promptly. It shows your caller that you respect their time as well. It's not good to leave your phone unattended to when you know you are leading a team that may need your help, that may need your input on a project. That's never a way to be the leader. And people do it probably just to prove an unnecessary point. But honestly, I don't know what point it is that you prove by leaving your phone unattended to. It doesn't just speak well of a good leader. A good leader must attend to his or her phone. If you are not able to pick it, let the person know you are busy, probably by sending an SMS or a message. But and then if you miss calls, it also makes sense to give the caller. Ensure you always return calls. Courtesy demands that you return a call, especially if you know who has called and you wish to know the reason for which they have called. Uh, at times, it could not even be for their good. Calls may be for your own good. Calls may be for your own benefit as a leader. So it's important that you ensure that you return calls if it happens that you miss calls. Remember that good telephone etiquette also builds trust and relationships. Respectful telephone interaction strengthens relationship with employees. It also helps to strengthen relationship with clients, and then business partners. You have people that have made very good sales on the telephone. We've had instances when a customer calls in and he says, "Oh, there's someone that spoke with me yesterday. I really liked the way he or she spoke with me on the telephone. Can you ensure that you consider such a staff for promotion?" Things like that. So if you have good telephone etiquette, you can even earn yourself from some promotion, by clients, stakeholders who will recommend you for such. So it doesn't just cost you anything to be courteous, just to have good telephone etiquette. It's important, and I've seen it turn around, a team completely. So you must strive as a leader to imbibe good telephone etiquette first in yourself, and then in your team is very, very important. Good telephone etiquette also enhances customer satisfaction. A whole lot of business and services that are provided today get to, customers or buyers of such goods and services or products only interact with us probably via web interfaces or telephones. So when people call in, it's honestly an opportunity to give them a good impression of yourself, a good image of the company that you work for, or even a company that you run. You should never outgrow courtesy on the phone, whether as a leader, a manager, a team member, even as the managing director of the organization, the leader of organizations, fellowships, meetings. Never outgrow courtesy on the phone. It's very important. People have that first impression, and if you lack good telephone etiquette, some prospective customers can make up their mind. It's enough to let someone make up his or her mind whether he's going to do business with your organization or not. So telephone etiquette is very important. It costs you next to nothing, but it can give you a whole lot of mileage in terms of human relation and client retention, customer relationship, as the case may be. Good telephone etiquette also promotes organizational efficiency. Being prepared, speaking clearly, getting to the point helps saves time and improves productivity. So ensure that as a leader you speak clearly and you get to the point very quickly. So this helps you to improve productivity in your team. Is very, very important. So if you respect your team, your team members will also respect you. So it's good telephone etiquette. It needs to be built in within a team. If it's built in a team, the team will definitely accelerate faster. So some basic examples of good telephone etiquette includes answering phone calls promptly and introducing yourself, like I've said, speaking clearly and using polite tones on the phone. You must use polite tones on the phone. You just must be polite. Don't forget, no one has a monopoly of insults. So if you are into business, you are into leadership, you must be polite to people. It's your responsibility. There are no two ways about it. You can't insult people on the phone and expect them not to insult you as well. So you even have organizations now that would say that they could take legal actions against you if they find out that you insult their staff on the telephone. So the telephone is no longer a wall that shields you from your customers or from your stakeholders, whoever as the case may be. It's not a wall, it's a bridge, and you should use it as such. So ensure you don't insult people across the phone. See the phone as a bridge. It helps um, it helps you to create a better team. It helps you to create better bond within your team as a leader, and it helps you to also gain a whole lot of trust and respect from clients and stakeholders. So it's also important that we speak clearly and we use polite terms, just like I've said, listening carefully without interruption. So when someone calls, it's first, if you receive a call, you have a responsibility to listen first, and then be sure that you understand the reason the person is calling before you discard the caller. There are instances people pick their call and say, "Hey, I'm busy. Can you call me back? I'm busy." I mean, it could just be calling to bring you a business. At that time, a customer is said to be the boss. So it's important and nice to listen first to the reason your caller is calling. You can then decide if it's a call that if you need to give him or her a ring back, or you need to even give the customer or the client or the team member some time to at least be able to quickly attend to the reason that they called you. So it's important that you should never outgrow telephone etiquette as a leader. You also should listen, like I said, listen carefully and don't interrupt. Taking accurate messages when necessary. So it's always important to take information. Information, they say, is power. So as much information that you have, it helps you to function better as a leader. So when people call in, see that as an opportunity to equip yourself with information and never turn it down. Avoiding distraction and background noise during calls is also important. So it's either way. If you plan to initiate a call, ensure that you kill all background noise. I have people calling and you hear television playing, some music playing at the background. It's not ethical. That's not good telephone etiquette. Your listener should not be struggling to filter your voice from the noise, from the background noise. So you need to respect your listeners by making your call in a very quiet environment. That is respect, and that is good telephone etiquette. If where you are is noisy and the call is not urgent, then you don't need to make it, except if it's urgent and it's time life threatening. But if it's not, it's respectful for you to ensure that you make your call in a quiet environment, so the person listening at the other hand is not having to strain their ears just to be able to hear you. That's very important, and it's just not debatable. You should make your calls or take your calls in very quiet environments. You should also, as part of our good telephone etiquette, you should end conversations courteously. And while you thank the caller, it's good to be courteous. You want to thank someone for calling, and then you probably give a promise of when you would get back to the person in case the person needs a feedback of the call. You don't just hang up without having a courteous hand to your call. So all these are good attributes, that you need to pick up just so you're able to have good telephone etiquette. That would definitely help you to improve your skill. It's a soft skill that you need to work on as a leader. And I mean, for all you know, it's enough for some people to just get added to you, to like your style of working, the way you speak, the way you talk to them, the way you respect them, either physically or on the phone. You don't have to be a terror. You don't have to insult people. You just, like I said, understand that no one has monopoly of insults. So never be a leader that is abusive on the phone. Telephone etiquette is an important leadership quality because it promotes professionalism as well. It helps effective communication. It brings about respect, strong relationships, and leaders who communicate cautiously over the phone help to create a positive image for themselves and for the organization that they work for. If this has benefited you in any way, please like, share, and subscribe. And I hope to have you again. I hope to see you again. Join me as we try to make leadership make sense.